I would really kind of want to see the Steelers get in the playoffs because they're a fun team to watch, and I think if they get in, then everybody else in the AFC is quaking in their boots a little bit. But obviously that loss to Kansas City is a big tiebreaker that works against them. And if things started today, right, the Jets and the Chiefs would get in and they wouldn't even be in.
That's right.
So them having to play the Bengals, I think, is an interesting litmus test for both teams. You've got Pittsburgh really with no margin for error. They need AFC wins. Their AFC conference record. They need wins total, but they need AFC wins in particular. And then you've got a Bengals team, which, everybody pretty much thinks are pretenders, right? They've got to prove that they're for real and win some big games. And it's not quite January, and this isn't going to determine their entire season. But if they fall into a bit of a tailspin here and start to doubt their own confidence even more, then you wonder if they're a one and done again. So that game, to me is worthy of being a Sunday night game, and we've got it at 1 o'clock on CBS, and so I'm excited for that game.
The Indianapolis Colts are sitting at 6-6. It looks like Andrew Luck is out another week at least, and Matt Hasselbeck, who was viewed as, well, he's so safe and a savior, they got dismantled by the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. This week they play the Jacksonville Jaguars, and sitting tied with the Texans, it's no guarantee with this Colts team anymore.
Oh, no. I mean, that division is, it is what it is. So some flawed team is going to win it, and we've seen the Texans go from, having a 2-week span where they looked as bad as I've seen any NFL. I mean, they had that game against Miami where they literally they did not look like a professional football team.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to happen in the pros, where you've got Ryan Tannehill, of all people, basically throwing for 400 yards in the first half of a game. And now they got hot. They got on a roll. J.J. Watt started playing like J.J. Watt again. They tightened some things up defensively, and now they're right there. So they could take that division. Those two teams play each other next week. That may very well end up deciding the AFC South, particularly if it is the Colts, because then they'd have a sweep over the Texans because they already beat them in Houston on a Thursday night. But no, nothing's remotely guaranteed for anybody there, and. We'll see. I expect Luck to practice more next week, and week 15, I'm told, he starts to enter the equation to at least consider him. All things being equal, week 16 against Miami is more probable for now, but they'll have to see how he progresses next week.
Jay, you mentioned J.J. Watt, and one of really at least 3 A-listers who are trying to get back from injuries, Revis, Gronk, and of course, Watt. All 3 play, 2 out of 3 play. What do you expect?
I think at least 2 out of the 3 play. I mean, unless Darrelle Revis has a setback and becomes symptomatic, they feel pretty good about where he is and his recovery from concussion. I mean, Watt's just going to, bandage that thing up, and he'll have a mummified hand, and he'll go out there and probabbe still smack, down.
Yeah. What exactly happened with it? Because they're not specifying what bone.
I mean, he's saying it happened in practice. I mean, I'm guessing it did because one day he's fine, and the next day he's got a broken hand. So they say it happened at practice. They don't seem overly concerned about it. I mean, we've seen guys, along the line and guys in the front 7 do this before. It's certainly not unprecedented.
No.
So, I don't I can tell you this. It's not like the New England Patriots are like, we don't need to block that guy anymore. It's not like they've changed their approach to this game because he broke his hand in the middle of the week. You're gonna approach it the same way they were, if he had both, full capacity of both hands. Gronk, the fact that it's a night game, they'll have some time to play this thing out and evaluate him and work him out on Sunday. My suspicion is they wait another week just to be extra safe, but that decision hasn't been made yet.
Johnny Manziel is getting a start in Cleveland against the San Francisco 49ers. Not a game that you want to watch, but we want to watch Johnny, and we'll see what he can do. What's the future for him in Cleveland?
I don't know.
I mean, a lot of people are saying now they're giving him this opportunity so that they can trade him, so that someone else may want him, can get an idea of what he is actually like. He's not there next year, right?
I don't know. I mean, look, the reason he's there now is that the owner doesn't want him cut, and the owner wants to try to see him play. Now, whether that turns out to be, to try to facilitate some trade interest, or whether it's just to see whether he's worthy of being on the team anymore. I mean, I think that'll depend on how he plays, but I can't say that he's absolutely gone because this owner has continued to stick by him. And he is 23 years old, and the owner is a big part of the reason why he was drafted in the first round in the first place and where he was drafted and how they moved to get him. So I wouldn't assume anything. I mean, this is a week-to-week thing. I mean, it's not even just about football. What kind of off season does he? You know what I mean? Like in February, is he at some training facility, 5-6 days a week, or or a picture showing up of him at frat parties? I don't know the answer to those questions, and nor do they. But they've had ample opportunity to cut him, and they haven't done it. And that's coming from the tippy top of that organization.